Yes, guys, this is Rio Reacts. We're here in Munich for the Champions League final. We're here with Just Eat and Pepsi Max. We're here with the man, Mr. Blaise Matuidi and Dan Fletcher. So make sure you enjoy the pod. Let's go.
Okay, so let me deal with the formalities. First and foremost, the former Champions League winner, Rio Ferdinand, is here. And a man who's won 4 titles with PSG, World Cup winner as well, Blaise Matuidi.
Yeah.
One place to start. I think we all agree that PSG have been one of the most fun teams to watch in the Champions League this season. I'm presuming, based on that you'd like to see them win at the weekend.
Yeah, I want them to win. The Italians in Inter won't be happy with me saying that, but it's been the best place we've been this season to go and watch games. The stadium's been crazy. The fans have been electric. Their ultras are great. And the food, man. We one of the best parts, I've got to say, one of the best parts about travelling around doing the Champions League, right, is we get to go to unreal restaurants, have some great food, great wine and beer, and just chat about football all night. We argue all the time about different things that are going on in the game, and but Paris has been my favourite place for all of those reasons, and the fact that their team have been brilliant in all of the games so far.
When I think about this PSG team, it took them a while to get going in the Champions League. They didn't qualify till match day 8.
Yeah.
Was there a turning point for them in the competition this season? Was it maybe that night in the Parc des Princes against Manchester City when they were 2-0 down and then something clicked and off they've gone?
I think Blaise will probably agree with me. I think there's sometimes in a season when something happens and you all go after a game, you look at each other and you can sense there's a new confidence. But I think also the form of Dembele in this season, this year, from January, he scored something like 25 goals from January. And when you have a player who becomes your main guy, and you at moments where things aren't going right, and you can just close your eyes and know that if he gets a chance, he's going to score. It gives confidence to the team like no other. I mean, you played with some ridiculous. You played with Dembele.
I played with Zlatan. Dembele in national team, and obviously he was already an amazing player. The last part was his main problem, and
his last pass or his last shot to
his
go.
Last pass, his last shot, but the decision making, the way that he were in the field, and his ability to face his opponents.
Yeah, 1v1
was the 1v1 was amazing. And
what do you think that it has been this season that's unlocked him? Because I've heard so many players that have played with Dembele. I'm sure you guys are the same. That have seen him play, watched him play, listened to other players that have played with him. They've always said this, that he has crazy ability. 1v1, he's one of the best in the world, one of the most talented players. But there's something missing, which the end product. What do you think that is that's changed this season to all the other seasons in that respect?
I think also the coach has a great part of that. I believe that he's been working with him individually on his mental too. And I think when he were in Barcelona, that will help him a lot. I believe so. He learned for sure from the best, one of the best, Messi. And also he became more mature, you know. The age is also he had a family now, so that helped also for professional soccer player. I think all of that made him the player that he is now.
I like the numbers, as you know. Best season before this one for Dembele, 14 goals when he was at Barcelona. He's 33 in all competitions. You've said a lot this season. We had a real good conversation after a Barcelona match, and you shouted Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or, Ballon d'Or a few times about Lamine Yamal. If Dembele wins the Champions League final for Paris Saint-Germain on Saturday night, based on the fact that will have won a treble then with PSG, is he a potential Ballon d'Or winner at that point?
I think you have to be in that conversation. I think to score the amount of goals he has, and if they win the Champions League as well, I think his performance in the final will be a big factor as well. If he plays well and he's one of the big reasons they win this game, then I think it will go to him, because I don't think there's been a lot of the years you always go, oh, it's him or him. That's the definite Ballon d'Or winner. This season hasn't been so much like that. I don't think there isn't an outstanding one. You're going, he has to win it, and you're convinced it's definitely him. I mean, if Lamine Yamal got to the final, I think he would have won it, but. I think Dembele has to play well in the final or define the game, and then I think his name's on it.
Could he win it?
He deserve. I believe that he deserve it. But obviously, you need to win. That's the most important. But overall, the season that he's doing is just amazing. You know, he's not just a scorer. I think he made a difference. When he get the ball, you feel that there is something that will happen all the time. So obviously, I know him from long time. When he was young, when he arrived to the national team, and I saw him.
Blaise, what was he like as a person? Like what? Because I've heard a lot of. There's always been stories that he may be a problem, or when I heard it at Barcelona or something. None of us know him, right? It's people that normally write the stories don't know the guy. And I've heard that we interviewed a few PSG players, and they were saying, "What a lovely guy! What a great! What you've played with him? What's he like?"
Yeah, he was young. So obviously, when you are young, you have some attitude that young players can have, right? So I think he needed to be more mature, and he arrived at that time. He's for me was always a good person, good teammates, a good attitude with the team. But then he acted sometime as a young player.
It's not just him though, is it? When you think about this PSG team, they've got four. They picked 3 from 4: Bradley Barcola, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Doué. I mean, I think we all think it's going to be Doué, Kvaratskhelia, and Dembele to start at the weekend. But it's different. The dynamic's different. They've gone for a younger group. They've gone for hungry players. The Galacticos aren't there anymore. They're trying to build their own Galacticos. When you look at this current version of PSG, that front unit is so impressive.
Yeah, I think we've watched PSG for many years, and always the thing you've always recognised, they've always had talent. That's never been a debate or for question. But the one thing that you always question with the PSG teams probably over the last 10 years is the work ethic of the front players. And I think that's been the big difference with the Paris Saint-Germain team now. And when I spoke to Vitinha, Neves and Kvaratskhelia, the common denominator between them on the podcast when we spoke to them was that they all enjoyed working hard. They all knew the demands from the manager was to work hard. The ability's there, but the first factor you had to have is the work ethic, and they all have bought into that. And the culture, you mentioned culture at the beginning, the culture there seems like it's all about togetherness, working hard, and the ability they have will shine through.
The years that I had, we had also amazing teams, and I think we were missing that. Sometimes there is a moment that we have the ball, and a moment that you don't have the ball, and I can see that they are working hard as a team, and obviously the coach have his
philosophy.
Yes, philosophy, and obviously it's working. We see a team. Obviously, they have some individuality, like Dembele. We mentioned it, but seeing that it's difficult to manage to play against them, and when it's difficult to play against a team, when you have the ball and you try to defeat them, I think then became hard for the opponent, and PSG create that. Like I said, we were amazing player there. We named them Zlatan, Cavani, Thiago Motta, but the team, we were missing something, and now I feel that this year from the beginning, I feel that they are a strong team, and that make the difference to win. Like Rio, to win big titles, you need that.
So let's go through some of the names. I don't know how long this is going to take. But we're going to try and work out what the best PSG front three would be. So we know the 4 they've got now: Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Dembele. We're going to include Messi, Neymar, Zlatan, Lavezzi, Cavani, Ronaldinho.
All PSG players,
all
front
PSG
players
players
over the years. So if you had to pick three to play on Saturday in a Champions League final out of all of those guys, you've played with some of them, you've watched some of them. Who are you picking? You're on the spot.
It's hard. No, I have to pick Messi.
Right.
one of the best player in the history. I have to pick him.
Check.
And then I pick Ronaldinho, obviously, and the next one is Zlatan. You know, Zlatan. Why Zlatan?
Yeah,
Because
why?
Zlatan made. When I arrived to PSG, I didn't have this mentality of winner. I was young, good player, but not a winner. He made me to become a winner.
How?
Arrived on Monday. I was after a party in Paris. I wanted just to chill on Monday, and he didn't want that. He wanted to win. Arrive on Monday, and I want to win.
Work.
If you are not ready to win, you are not in my team. He made me a winner, and I respect a lot of that. Obviously, he didn't have the chance to win big trophies, but we won a lot, and I think he was a big part of that.
Just you mentioned Zlatan, you played with him. Another big name you played with, Cristiano Ronaldo. What impact did he have on you? What was he like when you played with him at Juventus?
It's pretty the same things. Obviously, when Cristiano arrived to the club, you can be impressed, and then you see him outside the pitch, and you feel that this guy is here. He's not here for nothing. You know, the first arrived to the field, the first arrived to the facilities, the last to go. I remember one day we came back from a game, and it was 2 a.m, and we wanted all to go at home. We were tired, and I was saying to Mehdi Benassia, I want to go to the gym. I want to do some activities there. And I said, you are crazy. You're crazy. He was different, you know, and let's make him like what is him now, you know.
Fantastic. The mindset of a winner. That's why superstars can go to the next level. Joel, you've got some questions for the guys, from the people in here today.
Of course, Rio Reacts crowd, the Countdown Club. We have a few questions that want to be asked to you guys on the stage. And I have here a good friend of ours that you guys might know, Mr. Usi Football. First question goes to you, my friend.
I was going to ask, who do you think is a player we should look out for during the Champions League final between PSG and Inter?
If he starts, Doué. I spoke to a guy called Jed Spence who played with him when he was at Rennes when he was a kid. And I asked him, like, who's a talent in world football you're looking at now? He's a young player. He knows all of the guys. He said, I played with a kid called Doué. This is a few months ago, before the knockout stages of Champions League. And he said Doué. And the way he spoke about it, he said, this is Neymar reincarnated. That's what he said. When he said that, I was like, bro, I've got to go on YouTube and watch more. And like, what he's been doing in the Champions League, you're seeing glimpses now. I still think, like Blaise said, the young players, they need the end part, the end product still. The decision making at the top level still needs to work, but this guy, I think he has talent where you're going to see, and he's going to dominate a lot of games. I think in years to come, I think he's got a huge future.
I think the same. I love the player. I think in this new football, we are missing that. You know, we are missing player like that.
That's a great point.
You know, it's like he's playing on the street, and without thinking. Obviously, he's thinking because sometimes you have to make good decision. But I love the way that he's playing, and you feel that he's already 30 years old and he's a little kid.
Yeah, I'll give you one from Inter because we're very PSG centric. I think if Inter are going to win the Champions League on Saturday night, I think Nicolo Barella has to be
I agree.
the key player in central midfield. He played really well against Manchester City 2 years ago, and they nearly did it. I think if he can have a big game on Saturday, that can give them a genuine chance to win it.
Yeah, I think Barella's a top player.
Yeah,
and
I think he's the best central midfield player that nobody talks about in Europe.
Yeah, I'd go as far as to say that as well. He's one that you go, if he gets too much space and time, he can hurt them with good decisions. But I think when you look at the key battles in the game on Saturday, I think they're going to be in the wide areas. I think you've probably got, we spoke about this at dinner yesterday, PSG have probably the two best fullbacks in football right now, definitely this season. Mendes emerged and been the best left back by far. And then on the other side, you've got Dumfries has probably scored more goals than any fullback Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. And so that battle between those two, but I think the great thing is Kvaratskhelia is going to be helping. That's the difference compared to games against Barca and Bayern Munich. The wingers at PSG have bought into working back. And that is going to be where I think PSG might edge the game that Inter normally the wide players have a big impact on their game and the results. And I don't think they'll have as much impact this game.
We got one here from Mike. He's been dying to ask a question. Here you go, Mike. It's your time to shine.
For sure. So if PSG wins, do you think Kylian Mbappe will pick up the phone?
Blaise is your friend. Go on.
I don't think so. No, but for sure he will be happy. He will be happy because he have some friends in PSG. Obviously, he didn't end the way that he wanted, but I think he had a great moment in Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, the team, because we have to say it's the team. It's not because Mbappe left, but the team was better this year. But Mbappe is still an amazing player. He's an amazing player. He showed again this year. Won the Golden Boots.
Yeah.
And he will win the Champions League one day for sure.
Blaise, you really think he will be happy for Paris Saint-Germain? I have to be honest. If it was me, I'll be devastated. I would be gutted. If I left my team, went to another team where I'm expected to win, I didn't win, and then the team I left win, no, I'm not happy. Serious, I wouldn't be happy. I would not be saying,
I will
well
be
done.
the same. Honestly, I will be the same. But you have some point. You have some best point there. Dembele is one of his best friend. Hakimi the same. So I think he will be happy for them.
We'll get back to Joel in a minute. He's going to get some more questions. But let's just kind of break down a few more of these key battles. I just want you to expand on that midfield area. So you go Ruiz, Vitinha, João Neves, which a lot of people think is the most balanced and effective central midfield three in the Champions League. Then you flip it to the other side, Çalhanoğlu, Barella, and probably Mkhitaryan, a unit that works so well for Inter Milan. Is that the area of the pitch where this game's going to be won or lost at the weekend?
Yeah, I think it's a big part of the pitch, an important part as well. And it's the difference is, I think, is experience. One of the teams hasn't really played much at this level in the Champions League. Vitinha and Neves, very young, experienced players. Ruiz has played more football, but they have a great blend. But the other side, you've got players that have had huge experience, and that is the thing that would. The only worry for me with Inter is their experience. I think in all areas I would back PSG, but the experience and the know-how, and they've been to a final. This is a team that are well versed in the Champions League. That's the only concern that I have, and the experience counts for a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course, the experience comes from a lot of it. I think in the mid they are similar, right? Technical, good player with the ball, hard worker when they don't have the ball. I think more of that is how PSG will be able to play against a back five, right? So I think that is one of the key for me. They always play against a team that play always at 4. I know that Inter is amazing to play tactically. I hope that they will be able to face that.
We're talking about balanced midfields. You've played in some good ones. Which was the best midfield that you played in?
I had a great moment playing with Thiago Motta and Verratti. I think we had a good balance at that time. I was more the hard worker, and when we had the ball, they were more the players to give them. But also in national team when I was playing with Paul and N'Golo. I think this moment in the World Cup was a great moment.
How good is Paul? Because obviously Paul's gone through some difficult times recently, but how good was Paul Pogba?
He was amazing, but he was amazing because I think also also the fact that we were working also for him, that helped him a lot to play on his quality. So his quality is his ability with the ball, the fact that he can be a box to box also, and obviously have these amazing passes. I remember, for example, the pass that he gave to Mbappe to Kylian. That ball was just amazing, and it was the only player who can give this type of ball.
I love Paul Pogba, man.
Where's he going to go? What's he going to do?
I don't know, man. I can't wait to see him, to see what happens. I keep looking at his Instagram every day just to see if he announces something. Do you know what I mean? I speak to his agent, Femi. What's happening?
Do you know Blaise?
I don't know either. He's been quiet on that, but I believe that he can come back. Obviously, it will be hard to arrive in the top level that he was, but he's strong mentally. You know, he faced so many problems in his life, and I think he's ready to come back again on the pitch and do what he loves.
Just to go back to Zlatan and Cristiano, that we're talking about great players. I'm interested to know, like, from you as a midfielder behind those great players, how does that affect your game?
I was thinking that I had to work for them, right? I have to work for them. They will be the player that will make me win the game, you know. And when you have this respect, and when you think like that, you respect the football. I know my job. I knew my job. My job was to work for them, and obviously I remember Ronaldo. He didn't want to play striker. He wanted to play at the left, but at the left, you know, he was not defending. So I knew that I have to compensate that. It was not a problem for me, because I understood that doing that will help him more to score goals. And when you have winners like them, you have to do more for them. That was my mentality, and obviously a lot of respect for them, for their career, and I saw them every day, you know. And when you see this guy every day, you understand why they were at the level that they were.
Do you have to have one or two players at least in your team who are willing to sacrifice parts of their game for the killers?
Who did you have in your teams? Darren Fletcher?
Darren Fletcher, Owen Hargreaves.
Ji-sung Park?
Ji-sung Park. Those three definitely. Where you go.
And what did you feel about them in the dressing room? Because they were allowing your team to do what you couldn't do without them.
So fans won't appreciate, say, a Blaise Matuidi as much as the players. There's a lot of fans that will appreciate and love, but they won't understand the importance of a Matuidi or a Darren Fletcher or Park or these guys, because without them you can't win. As much as you can't win without the superstar, the same applies with these guys. You need them in the team. I'm playing behind these guys and I'm seeing the work they do. And I get as much satisfaction about seeing these guys get the ball back as I do get of seeing a great pass from Giggs or a goal from Cristiano.
Joel, you got some more questions?
Yeah, first of all, I'm going to start with myself, because I feel like it has been very PSG centric, but I think you're underestimating Inter Milan's attack. I mean, a person that I was very critical of back in the day, Marcus Thuram, who has been absolutely fantastic this season, and obviously Martinez as well. He keeps coming and still banging in the goals. They could really cause PSG some problems.
Yeah, I think they can. I look at them and go, like, 1v1 on the pitch, where are they going to be a problem for PSG? Like, if the two centre forwards, as good as Thuram is and Martinez are, but do I think they're going to be a huge problem for Marquinhos and Pashot? I would say that the centre backs will be quite okay, not quite confident, I think.
This team remind me Inter of 2010.
Yes.
You know, solid worker, and have these two guys in front that can cause you a problem every time. So, you know, at every moment, and the experience, obviously, I'm worried about that a little bit, to be honest. They have a lot of experience. They've been in in final 2 years ago, semi-final last year. So they get that experience, and like you said, Rio, an Italian team is always difficult to manage. They have qualities. They score, like you said. We are saying all the time that Italian they always defend and they wait for the mistake. But it's a team also that know how to attack also. So, but PSG, I believe that PSG is not Barca, for example, with all the respect that I have with Barca. We are talking about that, Rio, and you mentioned something amazing, is that PSG have this capacity to attack, but have the secure also.
Yeah,
the security also.
I agree with that. I think that's the big difference between the way that Barcelona and Bayern Munich played. They were very kamikaze. We're going to attack and play a high line, really risky football. I think the difference with Paris Saint-Germain is they play with more balance, and I think that'll be a big factor in the game as to why I think that they'll win this game.
Joel, thank you.
Just lastly, before we leave, always on the podcast, we always do this. We ask the players that come on for the five-a-side team of the best players they played with. No goalkeepers, because goalkeepers don't count.
I would say Thiago Motta.
Thiago Motta. He's one of the
say
players.
five.
Your five-a-side team. We've had some players like Beckham, had a
Zlatan.
great Zlatan,
Obviously, N'Golo.
Kante.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thiago Silva
Ooh.
and Cristiano.
Oh, it's a good team, man, isn't it? It's a good team, isn't it? That's not a bad team.
I
boy.
don't think Thiago Silva's going to have a great deal to do with N'Golo in front and all those goals.
Wait. So no Mbappe?
He was young when I
Yeah,
played
yeah.
with him. He was young in national team, and I have to give the respect also to the player that was older than me, like Cristiano, like Zlatan, and as I say that they give me this mindset of winner.
To win. You played with Kylian, and you've seen him now develop and mature, and an iconic French striker who he always gets compared to is Thierry Henry. Who would you say, if you had to pick one, who's the best?
It's hard because they came from Clairefontaine, both of them. I like to say that because I believe that Clairefontaine was the best academy in the world. But also I have to give the respect to Thierry. I think Thierry played on the time where the defender was very strong. That was your time, Rio. So we have to respect that. We have to respect that, and it was just amazing. In Premier League, I believe when you score so many goals in that league, you need to have this respect, and so I will pick Thierry Henry.
Okay.
Let me flip it then. Which one would you least want to defend? Thierry or Kylian?
Oh, Thierry was hard, man. But Kylian runs behind more. He runs behind more. So for defender, I used to hate that more, because Thierry would get the ball a lot more deep and then create problems. But I had help. I think Kylian against me personally would maybe, I don't know, man, Thierry. Thierry, man. They'll both be difficult. I would lose sleep over both of them, I'll be honest. I'm going to say, Kylian plays, well, not so much now in the last year or two, but before when he was younger, Kylian plays to get space behind. Everything he does, I done an interview with him once, and he talked to me about creating space behind us, all he thought about. So I think that might have been harder for my game. So I'm going to say Kylian.
Ooh, there we go. See, I can't just have Rio asking you the tough questions. We've got to throw one back to him. We're here in Munich all week with content like this, so stay tuned to the channel. Thanks to Just Eat and to Pepsi Max for working with us on our Champions League content.
Thanks, guys, for listening to this episode of Rio Reacts. Hope you've enjoyed this show. And if you have, make sure you leave us a review and follow this Rio Ferdinand Presents feed to make sure you never, ever miss an episode. If you've got a point you think we should be discussing or want to put us on the spot with a question you want answering, get in touch using the fans first at rioferdinandpresents.com email address or use #RFP on social. See ya on the next one.